Welcome to the Boisterous Brothers. My name is George Rockall-Schmidt, and I'm here, as always, with Damian Benedict. Can you fill in the blank for us, Damian?
I can, but I won't. Thank you very much.
Why
That is
not?
a secret I will take to the grave.
Why are you so embarrassed about it? All we know is it's not Mortise, and it's not Damian, unless your name is Damian Benedict.
I would prefer that.
Yeah.
I would say that's an adequate alternative.
Why don't you like it, your middle name?
I'm not getting into this right now.
Yeah.
It's a girly name. That's why.
It's a girly name.
And that's enough. That's all you need to know.
When I went to primary school, they had the alphabet on the wall, and they had like I don't know what it would be, like Aardvarki A. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Benny B.
And Catty C.
Crazy C. Dickie D.
Should it be Doggy D, right?
I think Dickie D went to jail in the 90s, didn't he? And the G was Golden Girl G.
Golden Girl G.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I got bullied because of that. Because my name is George, so there you go. And I had blonde hair back then.
Oh,
yeah.
adorable.
It all went away when I stopped dyeing it. So names then. Come on, give us your name. You're not going to give us your name. Well,
yeah, never.
How about names of children you were at school with that were crazy, or just names in general? Because I remember there was this girl at my school, at my primary school, who was called Sky Flower.
Right.
And
that can't be fucking real. Well, I mean, I know they're out there.
Yeah, it was real. Yeah, her parents, I guess, were hippies.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
This is one of the weird. I guess it was funny at the time, but I went to a primary school where there was a lot of Muslim and like.
No, you're not going to say Muhammad, are you?
No,
Damian.
No. This kid, his name was Uman, but he liked the nickname Immy for some reason.
Uman.
Umair.
Yeah.
And his name was Immy. We'd always call him Immy.
Immy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I used to know this Muslim guy, this Moroccan guy, and I can't remember what his name was. It was something quite normal, like Mustafa or something.
Right, okay.
But he insisted he be called Nunu.
Really?
Yeah. He was a bouncer at a nightclub.
Did you explain the connection to the Teletubbies by any chance?
I didn't know him that well. And
Did you go Naughty Nunu?
Naughty Nunu. I think probably a few times, and he just thought I was using alliteration to be funny.
He thought you were flirting. He thought he was right in.
Oh, I am a Naughty Nunu.
Ooh.
Oh, God. I always thought the Teletubbies thing, that was a bit weird that they got the Naughty Nunu bit in there, because even in the Teletubbies, it's a bit risque.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, more often, I swear to God, I've seen that vacuum like fucking dusting their ass and their crotch on a few occasions.
It is a very naughty vacuum cleaner.
And just to clarify, I don't watch a lot of Teletubbies. I've watched it sporadically in the last 20 years.
Do you think we should explain what the Teletubbies is?
I think people know that.
I don't know. Well, maybe. I know it is international. I know Americans know and British know, but I don't know.
It's these psycho kind of primary
No,
colour.
it's not psycho. It's not like
psycho.
like
It's
that.
nuts. They're just these weird kind of
Right,
beasts. It's not clear what they are.
It's
humanoid.
It's for very young children. It's not psycho.
It is psychotic.
Don't you remember when we watched the entire Teletubby movie?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm fairly certain I whited out through that. Or I must have done.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't putting myself through that. But you salted on through. Is that right?
It was much better than Skullduggery.
Oh yeah.
And what was the other one?
Mazes and Monsters.
Yeah, Mazes and Monsters was better than.
Okay, so there was Skullduggery. What was the other one?
Well, it wasn't as good as your. But anyway, it was one of those things that we wanted to watch to see what it would be like.
Yeah, I've kind of forgotten that they actually made a movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a very long episode, really. It's exactly the same. Anyway, we're losing track of what I was talking about. We're talking about names.
Okay.
You didn't have anyone called Lala or Dipsy or anything, did you?
No, not at all.
Dipsy. So Uman Imi, you were saying.
I chose the weirdest one. It's not really their name, but it was someone that we went to school with back when we were like 16. And it was this girl that was really into this Christian group called The Vibe or something like that. And she found Jesus there in a big bad way. And from then on, she changed her name to Faith or Hope. I think it was Faith.
Right.
But this wasn't just a nickname. She insisted that the school kind of recognise it.
Yeah.
I would see her sign off all her work, Faith. She'd be read out in the register as Faith. It's fucking nuts.
That is weird. I mean, how old was she?
About 16.
Yeah, right. That is weird. Do you know, I used to know this guy who I was at university with very briefly before he dropped out. His name was Darius. It wasn't
That is a ridiculous name.
It wasn't. Well, it kind of is. I mean, it's Persian, isn't it? Which is ridiculous. Persian, ridiculous. It wasn't his girlfriend's name, but the woman who was going to have his baby was called Belinda. So they decided they'd call their baby Delinda.
Delinda.
Yeah.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and I said, is it a boy or a girl? And they said they don't know.
Have you not checked?
It's going to be called,
that's too complicated. We can't manage that.
It's going to be called Delinda, no matter what. I always thought that was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that is bad. I've never heard that.
Yeah. People do that a lot now, crossing over names and inventing names. In England, the only people who can invent names and get away with it are the upper class.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to call my son Clover.
I did see this story about people inventing these stupid fucking names in the news a good few years ago, and it came from this judge in New Zealand, and he just had to draw the line when someone tried to call their baby fish and chips.
Yeah, you can't have the word "and" in a baby's name. Surely that's two babies. They should have waited for the twin to come along. Fish and chips.
Yeah.
What would possess you?
I have absolutely no idea. I guess these people were
I heard
quite high, but two pushing the envelope. Well, I would say pushing the boundaries. That sounds like they're pioneers. But I think they're kind of testing the water, seeing what they can get away with. Really,
I heard about a judge that stopped parents calling a girl this name. No, it wasn't that. Sorry, it was a girl who was like 8 years old who took her parents to court to get her name changed, and her name was like 12 names long. It was really long, but she went by, or her parents called her Rainbow Goggles.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! Oh,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Hey, Goggles, can you let the cat out? Let Ron out, and let Dave in. Goggles, let Dave in.
For Christ's sake, mother!
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's got to really kind of mess with your head a little bit.
I think that's insane. Well, it's not quite connected to that, but my anecdote this week is extremely short. It's like a minute long. I was in India in the late 2000s, and I was going around Delhi, and I went to not necessarily an extremely poor part, but a part that I had no business going to, and I met lots of people who'd never met a European guy in the flesh. And I met one guy who lived and worked in a tent by the road. And when I say tent, it was a tarpaulin that he rested on two bits of metal, and he'd made kind of like a rockery, which was his wall around the tent. He'd been living there for years. I don't know where he had a shit or anything. He didn't have any running water or anything like that. And he sold tea for a living. So he got water, he would boil it, he would sell tea. And I was talking to him, and he spoke a little bit of English. I think Indians generally are pretty well educated, even when they are very poor. And I was saying, so if you own a shop, are you middle class? And he said, oh yes, very middle class. Right? And I just kind of thought, how middle class are you, or am I? And you can tell a lot by names, I think. Like Damian, I would say, isn't necessarily middle class. George is definitely middle class, but I don't have an E at the end of my name because it's foreign. So because in England, foreign, that means you're at best lower middle class.
Yeah, that really took you down a peg.
It did take me down a peg. Yeah. My family were fabulously wealthy, but foreign, no.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, by the sounds of it, that guy has better living conditions than me, so I'll buy that he's...
What? What? You without your running water? What are you talking about?
I mean, well, I go by fucking... Is it number one back in... What is it? When I lived back up north in England, and that house is what should have been a lovely, lovely manor. Middle class as fuck is just absolutely dilapidated, so...
Yeah, you see Damian growing up, his birth house... it has an indoor
family estate.
It has an indoor swimming pool, right? It's huge.
Yes, yeah.
It's probably like the actual space, the floor space is probably like 4 times as big as my house. It's huge.
Yes,
but
yeah.
it's incredibly run down.
Oh god, yeah. My dad has completely neglected the lot. I mean, the pool in question is empty.
It's a hole now.
He didn't drain the pool. He just left it to evaporate over the course of like 8 years, and there is finally no water in it except like this incredibly condensed algae. Where I swear to God, we've got vines and weeds that have grown like almost fucking 14, 15 feet in the air. It's unbelievable.
And that sort of dilapidation is incredibly upper class, if you ask me. It is like, this is the castle. I need some money for repairs, though. I don't understand, Damian. Why don't you just levy a tax on the peasants?
Like my father petitions locals to quest for gold for him.
I remember because Damian lives in a small town, like next to the city I come from, and I remember. Your town is so small, it doesn't have a cinema, it doesn't have a movie theatre or anything. But they did have like a hall that sometimes they would put movies into, and they would say, this is the biggest projection screen in Dronfield. And it was like, yeah, apart from the one at Damian's house.
Oh, well, my dad kept that up. That was pretty banging. But
yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I mean, you had a pool table, you had an air hockey table, you've got a baby grand piano.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I feel like walking around in your house, I could fall through the floor at any moment.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, through Saddam Hussein's Stargate as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely brilliant facade. Yeah, I mean, from the outside, it looks absolutely plush and wonderful. But
no, it doesn't. No, it does. It's like under a bypass.
But it is completely hollow.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really remember going upstairs that often, but. Yeah.
Most of those rooms are just for storage.
I mean, your kitchen's full of holes from Jack the Rat, right?
Yep. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Amongst others over the years.
Yeah. Sid the Rat, Penelope the Rat.
You take the piss, but I mean, I'm sure they happened.
Morris the Centipede.
Oh.
I always thought Morris was a bit of a centipede name.
Ugh.
Anyway, more on this later. Now, the news.
Yeah.
Hello, the Boisterouses! This week, a superior officer to myself resigned from the White House when faced with the choice of resigning or being resigned for cavortations with the enemy. Elsewhere, brotherly love reigned supreme when King Jong Nam was totally not assassinated on orders of his young sibling and Prince of the Bad Korea, Kim Jong-un, who was jealous of Nam's visiting of every Disneyland in the world. Also, Han Solo almost crashed the Millennial Falconer into an Empire aircraft, making him one of many centenarians who are somehow still flying and still alive. Back to you in the studio.
Horny Frasier is so hard up, he tries to have sex with his boss, who is a man. This episode won many awards. We all know that gay jokes are the height of wit and repartee. In this episode, Frasier relaxes his rule, his words, fearing that his penis is beginning to recede into his body. The only one who is game is Frasier's new boss, what is a homosexual. Frasier says it's Montrachet time, a catchphrase from a previous episode, and away they go. The Frasier friends watch on in disgust at Frasier's staunch lack of principles. So more Frasier there. That is, I think, one of their most prized episodes. I think that won quite a few awards, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh, yeah, right. And it's the one where Frasier kind of invites his boss to sexual congress.
Yes.
But his sexual boss is a man. His sexual boss.
His sexual boss. Yeah. Oh, dear.
So you invite your boss around. Yeah, but don't worry, it's not my sexual boss. Okay, then.
Yeah, I've got to keep tabs on that.
Yeah, because my sexual boss doesn't eat chicken, so just cock. So his boss is a guy. Frasier is at least pretending to not be gay at this point.
Yeah. But I mean, towards the end, I don't know if we watched something else, but Frasier's properly into it. He's on board.
I mean, they use this as a crutch in Frasier, don't they? The whole, people think he's gay because he is very camp.
Yeah.
But I guess this is one of the first ones that they do that.
Yeah. I mean, this is like Christopher Lloyd, who shockingly is not Christopher Lloyd, but...
the other Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, this is Christopher Lloyd starting to really... The first stroke in like painting some very negative gay stereotypes,
right?
Even further.
Christopher Lloyd is one of the producers behind Modern Family.
Yeah,
and me and Damian have been watching Modern Family, and we were saying that it has a very positive message about letting gay couples adopt, but the actual depiction of gay gay couples or the gay couple in the show. It's
No,
very negative.
Not just that. I mean, obviously Nathan Lane in it is absolutely fucking.
Who's Nathan Lane?
Pepper. Sauce.
Oh,
yeah. And they seem so insufferable.
Yeah, you'd think if you wanted to kind of, portray gay people as, being like everyone else, you'd make them like everyone else. It would just be two guys who live together and were in a relationship. But instead you've got these two like incredibly over-the-top camp guys. I mean, I think the best example of how gays really operate is me and you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Just bat this out of the way right now.
You probably wouldn't really ever think that we were gay, but
the wives hate it. But
I'm the top. So
and I'm a vicious party bottom.
What's a party bottom?
I have absolutely no idea.
I'm a power bottom.
Oh
no, I'm a power top. I'm what's called a power top. Anyway, so so that happens in Frasier. Has anyone ever mistaken you for gay? Maybe they didn't mistake you.
They were on the money.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not me, but I know people have always had had their doubts about my dad. I guess.
Well, your dad. Your dad is pretty flowery.
Mm-hmm. He's very flamboyant, and again, he'd use the word theatrical.
And he's very right. Okay, what I'm going to say, I'm sure lots of people won't agree with, but people talk about gaydar and being able to tell if people are gay or not. I think a lot of the times, maybe this is just for scene gays, but I think a lot of the time I can tell who's gay by the way they move their eyes and their mouth.
Right. Okay.
But again, this may just be more to do with theatrics than anything else. But yeah, like if you watch Rev, the sitcom, the bishop in it is gay, and it's only revealed like halfway through that he's gay. But like I totally knew he was gay just from the way he would look at things. And,
that's got nothing to do with the performance. That's just the actor.
But your dad kind of squeezes his mouth together.
Like,
he pouts like he's
purses all the time.
sucking a bit of a lemon, and he does all these things which they don't mean he's gay, but they're just things I've observed in other openly gay, flamboyant men. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I haven't been mistaken for that, but definitely my dad has been a candidate.
I don't think I've been mistaken for it, but I remember...
But I have been caught with a dick in my mouth.
Right, yeah, but it was only for 11 seconds.
Oh, dear.
Do you want to explain that, or should we just move on?
Yeah, we'll get round to that at another point, I suppose.
Yeah. So I remember I was at this wine bar, which I used to go to. This was back when I didn't drink. Mm-hmm. I would go there because I knew people, and I would drink like an orange juice and talk to people. It was
big spender.
Quite good. Oh, yeah, what a waste of money. Because I'd have like 5. I don't need no fucking orange juice in my life. And there was this guy there who was always drunk. I can't remember what he was called. He was called something like Biker Paul, because he used to be like a marketing executive for JC Decow. And then he quit it all. He packed it all in to be a motorcycle courier, right? Because he liked bikes. And he was always like so fucking drunk. He was always in there. And one day his daughter was in there, and she got really drunk really quickly. Mm-hmm. I guess I was about 22. His daughter was like 25, and I wouldn't say she was horrible, but she wasn't my type, right? And she was really coming on to me.
Right, okay.
And it was really weird because this guy, her father, was saying, "Oh, why don't you take Millie home?" Well, I don't know if her name was Millie, I can't remember.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's going on to middle class names here.
Tilly McManaman.
Why don't you take Millie home? And someone else said that to me as well. Why don't you take her home? Like, what?
Oh.
Yeah. Her dad to say that as well. And I told her I was gay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's I'm sure that tied a nice little bow on that.
She knew I was lying, but she couldn't say that, so...
Because I'm gay.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I guess I didn't exude that many gay vibes, there with my lumberjack beard and... yeah. Yeah, but I remember going to a few gay bars and people saying, "You're not gay, are you?" And I'd say, "No, how do you know?" And they'd say, "It's the lumberjack beard." I used to have a massive beard. Remember? But now that is gay.
It was an awesome beard, yeah.
It was an awesome beard. Yeah, it was a shame when I had to leave. It was a shame when I had to cut it off because that family I had lodging in there had to move out.
I do remember that took fucking hours for you to shave that fucking thing off.
Yeah, but we were using one bic, a one blade bic.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think I've ever had anyone mistake me for being gay. Have you ever mistaken anyone for being gay or for being straight?
No, I've got an atrocious gay. I'm an atrocious gaydar. I mean, there was a kid at our school who was incredibly camp, and everyone was like, "Yeah, he's totally, totally gay."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I really have no opinion one way or the other.
No.
And
and
for a while,
he did come out, and
but
is
for a
gay.
long time he was like he kept saying he was bisexual, this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then later on he was just like, nah, it's rubbish. And and for whatever reason, I was the only person that was kind of surprised by that. Really, even after he said he was like bisexual, I was like, all right, okay. I just absolutely just it doesn't really occur to me to kind of think things about.
I think they should just say, everyone's a bit bisexual.
I mean, I definitely go around saying everybody's gay.
Everybody's gay.
I mean, there's still a part of me that's like 8 years old.
Everybody's gay. Well, we've known a few people. I've definitely known a few people who have been extremely sexually active. I mean, I'm talking guys here, extremely sexually active with the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
And they've all turned out to be gay. Or not turned out to be gay, but maybe one or two of them have turned out to be gay, and the others, like, they definitely were gay. They were just overcompensating for it. Yeah.
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 I know. Yeah, I think we're talking about the same person.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about quite a few people. I mean, my old boss, he would spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds every month on high-class hookers.
Mm-hmm.
He was totally gay. He just couldn't admit it.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, he may not have been gay for you.
I mean, that's my only real concern if they're kind of into me.
Yeah, that's right. Well, do you have anything to add to this?
Not particularly. I mean, the guy was very camp. Again, it's one of those things I never really kind of cared. I mean, the stuff that he would talk about. I mean, with people like that, again, they always talk about their sexual conquest and all that kind of stuff, and I immediately kind of switch off at that point. I just can't tolerate people that just go on about it so much.
Yeah, there was this one girl, right, and then I was kissing her sister, and it's just bullshit.
Yeah, it is total bullshit. And it always comes to a point where I'm having a dry spell, so I always get quite vengeful, even if it is bullshit.
Yeah, I remember Stephen Merchant saying he went to Brazil, and he was walking along the beach, and there were all these beautiful women there, and it made him angry. I mean, that is quite a dry spell, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, if you look like Stephen Merchant, though,
Yeah, but, looks aren't everything. I mean, he is tall.
No, but I mean...
He does have his own hair. He's trumped me.
I always got the impression that he feels a real stigma.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Poor Steve Merchant. No, he's a freak, isn't he?
Oh, bless.
Yeah, but when people talk about it, I don't know. I think they're either lying because they haven't had a lot of sex, or they're totally gay.
I totally did all of the sex on my bunhole.
Unless they're saying what the fuck did you just say?
On my bunhole.
You took all the sex on your bunhole?
I totally did all the sex on my bunhole.
Yeah, well, unless they're talking about being gay, if they start like bragging about all the men they fucked, it's like, you're straight, aren't you? I know your dirty secret, you straighty.
There's nothing I like more than a long, hard vagina.
Yeah, I'm going to marry this woman, and I'm totally going to suck her dick. No, not that. All right, now it's time for Anonymous Swash.
Join Hieronymus Swash and Mau in an exciting adventure in Moon Swasher. This is my son, Trayvon.
Thank you, Mrs. Thunderbrot. Hello, Trayvon. How are you today?
I'm just swell, thanks. Just swell.
Just swell?
Just swell.
Mau.
Boss,
Swell?
it means good, fine, acceptable.
I know what it means, Mau. I mean, that's a bizarre affectation, isn't it? Swell?
Trayvon, how's the weather?
Oh, I'd say it's pretty swell. Who are you guys anyway?
Well, we'll be straight with you, Trayvon. We want to know what you were doing for the months you were out of town.
I signed a form and I can't talk about that.
Can't talk about what?
I signed a form and I can't talk about that.
How long did you work out there?
I signed a form and I can't talk about that.
Oh, that's getting tedious.
Did you enjoy working there?
I signed a form and I can't talk.
Yes, we get it, Trayvon. Jesus, it's like that time we're on the train with the Ambassador Yukashenko. What a ridiculous name for a parrot. Now, what about the golf ball?
Oh, yes, the golf ball. You know who was a good golfer? Clancy Dumont.
He was a good golfer, wasn't he?
Oh, he was just swell.
Yes, he sure was.
He had a great range.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
He was just swell.
Swell is the word. Jesus, Mau Mau, this guy's really getting to me. I think he's brainwashing me.
I sure did, like Clancy Dumont.
Mau Mau, he's sucking me in again with his flawless conversation skills. What do you reckon? Brainwashed?
Trayvon, have you been brainwashed?
Oh, no, definitely not.
If you've not been brainwashed, say something that isn't, I signed the form and I can't talk about that when we ask you about the work out of town.
Okay.
What were you doing when you were working out of town?
I signed a form and I cannot talk about that.
I see.
All right, stand back, Mrs. Thunderbrot. We're going to try and deprogram your son.
Trayvon, the golf ball. The golf ball, Trayvon. The golf ball. Look into my eyes. Footsteps in the snow, melting into the wet earth. A fish on a rock by a river, struggling, drowning, dying. The moon cut into two by black clouds. The winter sun,
The moon.
blazing through.
The moon. The moon. The moon. The moon.
What's going on, Mau Mau?
You've broken my boy! Tell me about the moon, Trayvon.
I signed a form and I cannot talk about that.
Tell me about it.
I signed a form and I cannot talk about that.
Wet grass burning by an empty village. Boats listing in marshes. The smell of oil. The sound of blood. Tell me about the moon.
I signed a form and I cannot talk about that.
Tell me about before.
I...
Tell me about before, Trayvon. Where did you get the job?
The bar. The bar.
Mau Mau, look! This matchbook is from a bar.
This bar, Trayvon. This bar.
Yeah,
Oh, my son. He has fainted. His programming is strong.
The Clockwork Bar, eh?
Will he be all right?
Yes, he'll be fine, I imagine.
Well, now, it's very important, Mrs. Thunderbrot, that when he wakes up...
No time for that, Mau Mau. We've got a case to crack. To the Clockwork Bar!
Join us next time for another exciting episode of Moon Swasher.
By the floor, over the donkey way. Ferris wheel, I got him to. Fairground for the day. Going over there, the boy with the blue eye. He got a nice fingernail, a very nice smile. I hate you, I won't come here. She said, how about a corn dog? I said, I don't know about you. How about her? Love. Love. Jinx. Jinx.
Do you want to contribute to that?
Jinx. Jinx.
This one's called Rock and Roll Barrister. Guru, you say? No, not so much of a guru, more of a god. When I'm not defending civil rights activists, often who are black by the way, or single mothers who are being wrongly prosecuted by their abusive but physically inferior to me ex-husbands, I'm on stage banging out killer guitar solos and giving the world an opening to hear great music and see a true artist's soul, often for very reasonable admission fees. But the truth is, I'm lonely. My humble nature often prevents me from talking about my massive accomplishments. If only the girls knew I have a great personality and a dick like a fucking pyramid. But that is the dichotomy of a great but humble artist. Woeth is mine extraordinary soul. And that's from Chris in Sainsbury's Island. Thank you for that, Chris. I remember once I went to a bank to open up a new account, and I gave them my birth certificate, which says George Rockall-Schmidt on it. Mm-hmm. And the woman said, "Well, nice to have you with a bank, Craig." She read George as Craig.
Jesus.
Because, it had a G at the beginning, which looks like a C.
Yeah,
And a G at the end.
Yeah, I'm sure you felt like your money was in good hands after
Yeah.
that.
No, I did think, I could just have
2
I'd
accounts.
just be called Craig. Craig Rockall-Schmidt. No one will ever find me then.
Because Craig's a badass. This is, this is where you choose to reinvent yourself.
Craig's a badass, and Rockall-Schmidt is one of the most common surnames in the world. So, yeah, well, you know,
dear.
Middle class names there. Can you think of any particular middle class names? Henry? Tarquin?
Harold.
Harry, yeah, Harold. Anything that the royal family have. Stephen, but not Steven.
Or Stefan, that's another one.
Yeah. I would always get confused between what Stephen and Stefan was. Like, is it just a mispronunciation?
Yeah, I was never clear on that. But then again, I never knew anyone called Stephen. As per usual, I didn't give much of a shit. So
You never
had that question answered.
Never get anyone called Stefan. Stephanie. Yeah, well, we're listing all men's names, aren't we? What's the posh?
I don't know any girls.
Elizabeth. Really,
Charlotte.
any name that is quite long.
Yeah.
Lurleen.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, you said you had your name misread, but I used to get my name confused all the time at school, and it used to fuck you.
You used to get your own name confused.
I used to get my own name confused. I did not know who I was.
It wasn't your name at all. It was actually your identity. You would become ethereal sometimes and occupy other people, live behind their eyes. And then there'd just be this husk of Damian there. That's when I met you.
No, I'm just kind of doing that.
So Damian, when I met you 6 months ago, you were really cool. You were just a husk, but now you've reoccupied your body.
Now you're just trying too hard.
You're just a drag.
God.
I used to get Greg a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot, yeah. Because again, people just read the G and look at the G at the end.
I never used to understand it at school because I could kind of get... Sometimes I would hear Jamie, which kind of sounds like Damien if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, like Damie.
Yeah, kind of. Or Damon, I guess.
Yeah, Damon. Yeah,
my mum
calls you Damon.
Yeah, the one that I always got more than anything else, and I would get it from teachers, even though they were reading a register, they saw it in black and white, was Dominic. And it fucking sends me nuts when I hear that.
My dad calls you Dominic all the time. Yeah. He goes, "How's Dominic?" "Oh, I mean Trevor." "No, I mean Damian." "Who are you asking about, Dad?"
Oh my God.
How's Dominic? Yeah, I used to work with a guy called Damon, and he would get Damian all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, well, Dominic, I agree. Where's that from?
I have absolutely no idea.
And the funny thing is the word Dominic, I associate Dominic with a Dalmatian.
Oh, yeah?
And Damian was famous for his Dalmatian. Yeah. He's extremely well-trained Dalmatian.
God, she hated life and everything in it.
It was essentially a semi-feral dog that lived with you.
Yeah. It was fantastic. I absolutely adored her, but she was an absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah, a beast.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Any other peculiar names? Don't have to be middle class. Jemima, like Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, that's a bizarre name.
Well,
it's just kind of old-timey. You don't really get it that much. I quite like Reginald.
Reginald, wee Willy pup. I think you would have been a lot more successful if you had been called wee Willy pup Benedict.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything other than Damian and Benedict.
Yeah, your first name is a describing word.
It is a defining characteristic of your body.
Yeah. Wee
Willy Winky.
Wee Willy Winky, yeah. Well, we know what we're getting to, don't we? What about our illustrious gnomed friend?
Yes, yeah.
Zelaieta. Apparently a Spanish name. That's a surname.
Yes, yeah.
We should say. And I'm sure that the word he has spoken the most, like I think when you die, like you get like the stats come up, tells you how far you've walked, things like that. How many people you've fucked over, how many marriages you're responsible for dissolving, how many people you've accidentally married, things like that.
How many metric tons of shit you've made in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to see that. That'd be fascinating.
Yeah. And it would also tell you the word you've said the most. And for most people, it would be the or hello or something like that. But for Zelaieta, the word he said the most is Zelaieta. Yeah, Zelaieta, because he would constantly correct people.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, people knew his name quite quickly because he was infamous. He was a weird little gnome. But I mean, if you saw that on paper, it is a bit of a nightmare spelling.
Zellieta? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to hear Zelitia a lot.
Zelitia,
and then people, the kids would just kind of find that funny and tease him for it. But when they'd be like, oh, Zelitia, he'd have to correct. And he'd kind of stamp his foot and he'd wave his arms with every syllable. Zelieta.
Yeah, because he's one of those kids that would be called constantly by his surname.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time someone said his name, he would say his name again.
Yeah. Almost like it's a greeting. He thinks it means hello.
Yeah, just try it. Like, hey, George. George.
George. Damian.
Yeah. Over here, I get Chorch a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I quite like that. Chorch.
Do you not get Jorge or something like that?
Yeah, Jorge, yeah.
I think that's pretty badass.
Yeah, because it has the word whore in it.
And hey!
And hey. It's like I'm a horse's whore.
Oh.
Horse whore.
Oh, dear.
And we had a teacher called Mr. Horsewhore. Oh, my God. It's like the butterfly effect.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. But obviously your dad changed his name, right? Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, yes, yeah. I'm technically Benedict the First in the family.
What? No, you're not. That's not technically true. But you're technically Benedict the First.
Well, I'm the first, my surname is Benedict, but I'm the first in the family to have that surname.
Yeah, but names don't work. You don't get the first after you.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. This is how my dad would always describe it. Because Benedict was his middle name. His original last name was Bags. And naturally he dispensed with that.
Well, it didn't help that his original name was also Shit at the beginning as well. Shit Bags.
Well, yeah, I mean, he changed his name when I was probably about 10, something like that. Had it, officially chopped off. But,
oh, right, I didn't know that. I thought that it was way before you were born.
Oh, no, yeah. That's technically why he says you're Benedict the First, because he came much later or something. He says,
surely you'd be Damian the First, though. It doesn't. Benedict the First, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm not.
Benedict the First was a fucking pope.
I'm not arguing. This is what my dad would say.
Yeah, right. Shit that shitbags would say.
Yeah. By his logic, he was Benedict the Third. Yeah, I know. Because your sister was Benedict the Second.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He's a bad man.
But when it came to naming us, when it came to the birth certificates, he kind of decided that Benedict was the way to go, simply because my name and my sister's name starts with a T. People would easily just abbreviate my name to fucking D-bags, obviously. And more...
D-bags?
Yeah.
Why?
As in douchebag. I've heard that a lot.
You D-bag.
Yeah.
Well, like people would be like, I hate Damian. I'm gonna insult him, but this is a PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think the more the worst would have been my sister, who would have been T-bags, and I'm sure people have easily fucking gone to town on that one.
Yeah. No, I think shitbags are still the best, though.
Well, that's I mean that's what I refer to my dad as.
I don't think shitbags.
Yeah.
Hey, shitbags.
It's got nothing to do with his name though.
No.
It's like, you're right, cunt.
I don't think Bags is a particularly bad name or anything like that. But
oh yeah, my dad thought it was fucking repellent.
I went to two schools. I went to a really rough school, like an inner city sort of school. No one ever took the piss out of my name there.
Oh yeah.
Never. Oh. I went to this hoity-toity middle-class school afterwards where I met Damian.
Yes.
And everyone would constantly be saying, "Oh, where's your name come from? Are you an asylum seeker?"
You must be German, right?
Someone was saying to me, like, I had no idea how racist England was until the other day. It's like, fucking hell, I do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we went to a school, they hated my name because it wasn't English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many black people were in our school? 2?
Yeah, I'd say in our year, maybe 2, 4, like across the school, maybe.
Yeah, there were no Asian people.
Yeah, I don't remember any.
No.
Yeah. I mean, they...
but
they were treated like quite a novelty.
Yeah.
It was really quite bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was weird, but whatever. I'm all right with that.
Well, our school was pure. That's what we're saying, right?
Apart from me and the 2 black kids.
Yeah.
I was swarthy at the school I went to.
Oh, Jesus, that school sucked.
Goodness gracious. No, it was a very good school. It was just full of cunts. Cunts.
Yeah, with funny names, apparently.
Well,
some of them had funny names. Most of them had very boring names.
Very boring names. And Zeliata.
Zeliatar. It's a type of instrument.
Zeliatar. I think he was a silly tard. Oh dear. Yeah, I would have my name constantly mispronounced. Like a lot of people in England apparently can't say the word Schmidt.
Right. Okay.
They say Smith. Smith.
Yes. Yeah.
Smith. I get a lot. I get a lot of people say Smith.
Yeah. I remember hearing that a lot at school.
Like seriously, you think it's pronounced Smith?
Yeah.
You don't think the SCH? You think that makes a sm sound or something? Well, I mean, I don't mind that much, but I'm just saying.
Nah.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking read. Too lazy. English.
Benedict.
Yeah, I get Benedict a lot.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But going back to the
Go
name
back to
thing,
school. Yeah.
Benedict.
Oh dear.
Benedict.
Yeah, and Damian quite a bit as well.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you're giving me all these things. I never thought of Damian before. But I think more gay man.
Gay man Benedict.
Gay man. What's the worst thing you could call your kid?
Fucktard.
What about fucktard? What about Trump? I mean, I always thought Clinton was an awful name.
Yeah, but like first name. Clinton Brown.
Clinton Brown. Clinton Biggs.
Oh, yeah. Biggs is-
Quentin. I hate the name Quentin.
Yeah, that's naff.
Quentin is a bit better, but Quentin.
Ugh.
Yeah. Sally. Never like that. Yeah, so I used to know somebody who was called John T, but I thought his name was John T.
Right, okay.
And I always kind of thought, like, what, have you written a book or something? Why is everybody calling you John T? His name was John T.
I've never heard that fucking name before.
It's Scottish, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it does sound like he should be wearing quite a dapper hat, throwing a scarf over his shoulder.
Yeah, because it was actually jaunty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That's my ignorance as per usual. Frank Zappa's kids had fucking nuts names. There was fucking Dweezil, Moon Unit. That's just off the fucking radar.
Moon Unit.
Yeah,
You'd
I
change your
know.
name immediately, wouldn't you?
I think, well, she signs her name just Moon now, but it's still officially like Moon Unit.
Drop the unit, la-dee-da.
Yeah. It's too fucking good for this fucking family, tell you.
I don't know. Dweezil, though. Dweezil sounds like it could be like a legitimate name elsewhere. Kind of, like
Oh, God, yeah.
in deep Georgia. Merle. Mervyn. Dweezil. Hannity.
I totally buy that.
Little John Wayne. Gay man.
Bandy Dick.
George without the E.
Smitty.
Hey, I'm Smitty. I'm Rocky Smitty. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, I suppose parents really do change the future for their children by naming them the daft shit.
Yeah.
It's been said before, but you've always got to be careful with the kid's last, the last letter of the kid's first name being the first letter of your last name.
Right, okay.
Does that make any sense, what I just said?
Kind of following.
So if your name is Benedict,
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of a name that begins with... I can't think of a name that ends with the letter B.
Caleb.
Caleb. You can't have Caleb Benedict, because it would be either Caleb Benedict or Caleb Benedict. Caleb Benedict. This is like some sort of preacher man.
That sounds... I don't quite like that. It's definitely...
No, but the thing is if you say it all at once, Caleb Benedict, it sounds like his name is Kayla.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Sounds like a vegetable.
Yeah, it'd be even worse if you was Kayla B. Benedict. No, that works.
Mm.
Okay, all right. Okay, so now we're onto something. Start writing these down. I don't know though. I mean, I've often thought like people who write their names in a really weird way. Like I've known people who write Sarah, S-A-R-A, but they fucking insist it's Sarah.
Right. Okay.
It's like it's not. It's Sarah.
Yeah.
Like my name, if we're going to be pedantic, my name is pronounced Georg. Georg.
It's more of a sound than a name.
Georg. Yeah. I mean, you've really got to do it from the back of your throat.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, there must be plenty of people who name their children after Klingon words.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Like my name is from the Klingon word for fork. Takrach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when that article I read about the fucking fish and chips baby, they did mention
Fish
that.
and chips, baby.
Because it was
I just think of it wrapped in a newspaper.
Classic.
And also being fish and chips.
Yeah.
And your baby is delicious.
Oh dear.
Yeah, maybe,
That's-
yeah.
Oh no.
No, it's nothing sexual. It's just
licking
somebody
a salty
eating the
baby. Yeah.
All
Oh.
babies are salty. That's a tautology. like saying licking a fishy whale.
Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, that article was in the middle of that Twilight fucking phenomena, and it did talk about how a lot of people were naming their characters, their babies after everyone in that fucking book, and it was getting quite weird.
I knew a guy who owned 2 pug dogs, and he called them Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it
is.
I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah. Yeah, but would you ever name your son Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman Benedict.
Yeah.
Bags. Hugh Jackman Bags.
Hugh B. Jackman Jackman Bags B. Benedict.
I'd definitely go for Hugh Bags.
Hugh Bags.
You laugh, but I'm totally down with that.
Hugh Bags and Richie Bags.
I call it money. Money bags.
Money Bags.
Oh dear.
Oh, there was a good one. This is a really old one. It's quite famous, I think.
No, I call it plastic.
Plastic bags. Lee King Kettle.
Really?
Yeah, Lee King Kettle.
Superb.
Yeah.
Was it? I mean, it was done as a joke, right?
I don't know. Because normally you just call them Lee Kettle. You don't bring in your middle name. What's your middle name, by the way?
Oh, fuck's sake, it's Lindsay. Yeah, there you go.
It's Lindsay with a Z, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Lindsay with an I.
No, it's Lindsay with 2 I's. Linzi.
Oh.
Yeah, and the thing you can't see is actually on Damian's birth certificate. Both eyes have a heart over them.
Oh.
No, one's a smiley face and one's a heart.
Oh my god! And that's legally obliged to sign it off as that as well.
Lindsay isn't that bad.
I know, but it was definitely put a target on the back of my head at school.
Yeah, but only because you told everyone.
Well, I remember there was a kid, fucking greasy little shit, that kind of found out, so I just immediately owned it and just like, yeah, fine. Because for a while he was really smug and he really thought he had power, so I was like, fine, yeah, everyone, it's Lindsay.
Oh,
he was like, I'm going to tell people. How do you feel about that?
You're talking about Spotty Boy.
Yes.
Oh wow, yeah, he really. Ooh. Well, he's dead now.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you very much for watching The Boisterous Brothers, or indeed listening. If you're not watching it, you can do so on our YouTube channel. Follow the link. It's in the description.
Amazing.
If you want to download it, go to SoundCloud. SoundCloud link is in the description if you're not on SoundCloud. You can download this and all the other episodes for free.
Amazing.
Anything else?
No, we pretty much covered it.
Stitcher, iTunes.
Of course, yes. We're very remiss.
Yeah.
Any reviews, always helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Amazon, eBay,
Yeah.
New York Times.
Yahoo, is that a thing? MySpace?
Yeah, MySpace.
AOL?
My Face.
My book, FaceBase?
FaceBase.
Bebo?
Oogly Positive.
Oh, what was it?
Ask Jeeves.
What was that? Oh, there was one that John Paul was on. Was it fucking Friend Nation or something like that?
Yeah, he was also on that sound one.
Oh
yeah,
I can't remember.
I should definitely get back to creating a profile for him to fall in love with.
Oh, Jesus.
To evil!
Yes.